today I'm in my backyard and I want to talk to you about how I use climbing plants. Now I use all kinds, whether it's a climbing rose, climbing up a trellis, or a hydrangea. And here I have a Japanese climbing hydrangea running up this beautiful old oak tree. In the corner I have a beautiful little autumn flowering clematis, a sweet flowering clematis. In flower right now. My old clematis have finished. I've got annual vines, whether it's a cardinal flower or a morning glory, which is yet to flower. But as the temperature's cool, it's going to start flowering. Of course, I use honeysuckles, and I even use a trumpet vine. You have to watch trumpet vines, and I've already explained about how this tree form, shaping it like a tree, can make life a lot easier. But what I really want to talk to you about today is wisteria, because believe it or not, just like the non-flowering hydrangeas, I get so many questions about how to look after wisteria. Let's see if I can answer a few right now. Well, I'm standing right underneath a Chinese wisteria, and unfortunately I've neglected it for a couple of years. Usually you want to prune it once a year. Typically the time to prune it is after it flowers, and there's a secret to pruning it. So let's talk wisteria. Well, basically there are Chinese wisteria like this, and the way they climb, a Chinese one climbs counterclockwise. The floribunda, or the Japanese wisteria, goes clockwise around. So if you look down at the end and see which way it's spinning, you can tell one from another. So first rule of buying a wisteria, well, make sure it's had flowers on it. Either it's flowering when you buy it, or are there little seeds forming, little pods to say that it has flowered. There are so many stories of people being given seedlings that, in all honesty, may never ever flower. You could spend a lifetime pruning it correctly and you still don't get any flowers. So buy one that has some sign of flowering on it. So in terms of pruning, well, you could imagine it has flowered, and after the flowers are fading, then it's a good time to prune. To do this one, I'm going to need a ladder. I'm going to need a pair of loppers. I have those. I have my hand pruners. I need a ladder. All right, up we go. I'm going to use my shed as a base for pruning. Typically, the best time to prune is after they've flowered. All these whips come out. They send these tremendously long whips that are looking for something to lash hold of. I'm going to do a bit of initial pruning, then show you how the fine pruning is done. And you have to imagine it's a bit earlier in the season, but it's better to do it now than not to do it. I'm looking for some main big branches. It's going to take some of this out so I can see what I'm doing. Sometimes you can pull them out. I'm going to cut that one free. My aim is to be able to get onto the roof. Look at this whip. It's already about 10 feet long. Let me just take that one out. So look at this beast. It's come all the way around my little cupola here. It's gradually grabbing hold of it. I don't want too much on the roof, but it's kind of nice to have a little bit. So I'm going to just take some of these out. Wow, has it grown? 2 years, I can't believe it. It wasn't on the roof before, and it certainly wasn't up this tree. I made sure of that. Now the tree is a slow growing, it's a dark leaf birch, and it really doesn't want to have a wisteria choking it out. So I shall be removing it from it. And they aren't delicate flowers. You can be pretty rough with a wisteria. Now I'm standing right on this quite substantial, it's a 6x6 fence, and right down beneath me is where I planted the original wisteria. So it's grown up here and then spread both ways, 3 ways, and up the tree. I don't really need all this here, so I'm going to just remove some of this. Pretty aggressive cutting. And don't leave it too long, because those branches get thicker and thicker and thicker. At the moment, I've not had to use my loppers. I've just been using my hand pruners quite successfully. So one of the secrets of getting a wisteria to flower is to create what they call flowering spurs. They're short little pieces of branch on the side, the lateral bit of the main trunk. This is the main trunk came up here. And I'm cutting them back to about 2 to 3 buds. And hopefully they will produce flowers. I'm going down the next stem. I'm going to take that one out. I'm going to shorten that one. I'm going to shorten that one. And shorten it. And hopefully that will encourage a bit more flowering. I'm going to shorten that one. So the lateral branches, don't cut all the way back, cut to about 2 buds There's all kinds of rules of thumb, but these little short pieces will develop more likelihood of producing flower buds before the end of the season. And then next spring, we'll get lots and lots of flowers on this one. Now, as I pull it out, it may be too trapped. So I'm gonna, you know what I can do? If my balance is good enough, I'm gonna climb up next to the tree and just see where these branches are going. You can see it's actually dominating this branch completely. It's blocking the light off to the birch, which is not a good thing. Hopefully I can use this one here. This one's a little easier to manage. There we go. There's quite a bit on that one. As you can see, after all that wrestling, I've managed to get a long branch to come up here. There's already one there, it climbed its own way in there, but I'm going to work this bit around here a little bit. And this is really where I want to have all the flowers. In fact, more so on this side. We're starting to get some growing this way. The long branch I managed to get here, I'm working this way and along this way as well. It's finally decided to come this way, which is great. There's a little bit more sunshine here. So if we can get it to kind of work its way around here, this will be a cascade of flowers, both from the garden and from inside the living room there. So what you have to decide really, is it worth all that effort? Wisteria, our effort? Well, there are a couple of solutions. There are a couple of smaller varieties out there I would highly recommend. There's a variety called Blue Moon, and it won't get more than, I think about 10 to 12 feet tall. The one I really sell a lot of is one called Amethyst Falls. It's a smaller one, maybe 15 to 20 feet, as opposed to 60 to 70 feet. So there are easier options, but the flowering, it's second to none. So there you go, some helpful advice. One final thing is don't fertilize them too much. Lean and mean. If you trim the roots, it might encourage them to flower as well. But don't fertilize them with highly rich nitrogen fertilizer, because all you're going to do is get miles of green growth. Well, as always, if you've got any gardening questions or just want to come and plain visit, I'm down at Greystone Gardens and we'd love to see you down there soon.